folks, how you going? As you can see, I'm supposed to have Jonesy up here, but for some reason, Jonesy's not actually coming in. So I'm going to have to figure out another method of bringing him in. But at any rate, it's Sean here from the Downunder Cruisers. Welcome aboard. Nice to have you here. I'm just going to do this. And then what I'm going to do is do this. And then what I'm going to do is go over here and then just do this. And then do this. You guys are really excited to see how I'm doing this, right? But I'm not going to tell you. I'm just going to do it. And then we'll wait until Jonesy actually pops in. Because there we go. He will be coming in. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about what's happening down under. It's going to be the big Jonesy Ducks debate about what's happening down under. Anyway, let's wait until he comes on in. And then we will have the great discussion. In the meantime, what I'm going to do here, folks, is I am just going to go into the chat. First of all, we've got Peterson Farms. Welcome aboard, guys. Nice to have you here. We've got Meg saying g'day to the governor. I'm assuming the governor came in early, and so this hasn't brought it up. So anyway, Meg saying g'day to the governor. In fact, Meg is saying g'day to everybody. Wait a minute. Jonesy, you're not supposed to be in the chat. You're supposed to be answering the message I just sent you. OMG, goodness me. We've got Stream Elements coming to the chat saying g'day over there. Oh, there we go. The man has finally arrived. But wait a minute, I've got to do some magic here with this little young Mr. Jonesy. He is young, you know, he's only 25. But then he'll say to me, shut up, Sean, what are you talking about? Anyway, here we go. G'day, Jonesy.
Oh, g'day, mate. How are you?
I'm good. Yourself? How they hanging?
They're hanging loose and free.
Good on you, mate. Glad that's the way it should be, and you've sorted it all out. Loose and free is the way we want it. So what are you into, mate? Bit of the coffee?
Yeah, sort of. We'll just say coffee. But
That'll do for the moment.
Yeah, mate. No, it's all good. We've been nice warm weather. We've been gardening. Me and the lovely Mrs. J. Trying to get the house looking shipshape for summer.
Awesome.
So,
got to do what you got to do.
The bad news is that I've got to go to do real work tomorrow.
Oh, bugger. Well, somebody's got to pay for the cruise.
Oh, that's it.
Hey, Rob on the road is saying he's over here too. Where will he go next? That's a good question. We've got Ms. D. Pasquale Pockross. G'day there. I hope I said it right. No, Philip, there's not just two watching. You're watching, and we're actually on 3 channels right now. So whether you're in here or you're in Jonesy or you're in Helping Hands, not sure where, but we're in 3 channels. So there we go. And Meg has put up Jonesy's YouTube channel. So folks, if you don't know Jonesy, go ahead, check him out. It's got some awesome stuff there. We've got some great chat.
Yeah, we have a bit of fun.
Yep.
Down the
beautiful. He's saying good day to all. We've got Cam Creek. G'day, guys. How you going? What's the weather down like in your neck of the woods? BC Gerbs, Mr. Jonesy.
BC Gerbs, welcome in. He's from Canada, or actually from Newfoundland.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Ms. D. Pasquale Pockross, hand ping waving. Okay.
It must be very early over there.
Must be. 1 a.m. in Canada at the moment. Which part of Canada? Hang on. Let's have a look.
Newfoundland.
Okay, Newfoundland, because Salt Lake City's at 2 a.m. Oh yeah, Vancouver 1 a.m. So it's in that area there, as well as LA.
Uh,
I've got this program that tells me what's the time around the world.
oh, that's pretty cool.
Well, Scott, your ears must have been burning, mate. We were talking about you and Amber earlier on with Meg. How are you, mate? Welcome aboard. Nice to have you in here. And also, Meg, you're supposed to be asleep, which is true, but she was actually talking to me. We've got Ms. D is watching from Abu Dhabi. Did you know you had mates in Abu Dhabi?
I've got mates all around the world.
Oh, good. Well, maybe we should get them all in then, eh?
It helps when you've got a radio station and you're broadcasting worldwide.
That's very true. That's very true. We've got Scout Inquirer, greetings from New York. G'day, Jonesy, the Ducks, and chat. It is so very nice to meet everyone. Likewise, Scout Inquirer. It's 4:06 a.m. in New York right now. 4 a.m. where Peterson Farms of Nashville are.
Yeah, he's getting up and heading off to work.
Yeah. Cam Creek Hill is windy in Gippsland near Mount Bawbaw. Nice summer weather. What did you guys get there, Cam Creek? What did you get temp-wise? And BC Jobs, all is... Al is in Newfoundland. He's in BC.
Oh, right.
The other side of the country.
Awesome.
Yep.
Oh, sorry about that. Jerbs.
Hey,
He's got a video, just quietly.
Yeah.
BC Jerbs, of this big moose, like a big bull moose, just walking through their yard. He was sort of camping out in his car, doing a outside camp out, and this huge moose come walking past his car. It was amazing.
Must have frightened the shit out of him.
No, apparently it's got a nice, I forget the name. It's like Fred or Bob or one of those names, and it's all the locals know him. So
oh, it's cool. Now,
anyway.
Jerbs, where in British Columbia are you? Because we've got some mates that are up in Powell River, actually. G'day, Lorraine. How you going? Nice to have you on board. What are you doing up so early? Oh, you haven't gone to bed yet. I'm talking to you. You never sleep anyway. We've got Quint Nelson. G'day, Jonesy and everyone. We've got Johnny Small Pepper.
He's one of the superheroes of YouTube. Johnny Small Pepper.
Yeah.
Oh man, he's sending me. Oh, he's just a lovely guy, but he eats like the hottest of hot peppers.
Oh.
He doesn't seem to flinch. I don't know how he does it, but he just eats these. Whatever the hot ones are called, he just powers away. But
you know what
but
we
a really
should do
nice
with him?
guy. Like.
You know what we should do, Jonesy?
I'm afraid
We should
to
actually
ask.
put him up. We should actually put him up against Kenny.
Kenny likes the hot peppers as well.
Oh, he loves the hot peppers, mate. He loves it hot and spicy.
Well, interesting.
Roosevelt Elk Mr. Bob. That's his name.
Yeah, I knew it was a simple name. Bob. I should have remembered that one. That's my late father's name.
Jeff's saying he's on Vancouver Island in the Cowichan Valley. Okay. I'll have to find out.
It sounds cold and it sounds lovely.
It sounds freaking freezing. Campbell Creek, last 3 days, mid-30s, but today 26. Yeah, pretty much the same as what we had down here in the city of Melbourne.
Mm-hmm. We had 25 or 26.
We were actually cooler than you by the sounds of it. You were talking about 30 degrees earlier on today.
No, that was Hobart. We were around 25, 26, but I'll tell you what, when you live down here, that feels like it's 40 degrees because, it's never usually that hot.
Ah,
It's
okay.
quite enjoyable.
Did you get your garden sorted?
Uh, what Mrs. J wanted to do, we did, but there's
Hmm.
tons of work here. I've, I'm getting a lot of people saying I should be doing like a gardening site, like a not a gardening channel, but like do a playlist of all the gardening stuff because I got some funky stuff happening down here, growing some weird and wonderful seeds and plants and
Awesome.
fertilizers. Mm, just another string to the bow.
Mate, you're a man of many talents. Um,
I
Lorraine is
wouldn't go
saying
that
ordering new shower taps. That's good. Um,
right.
Jerbs is saying Pell River isn't that far. Oh, awesome. Awesome. I'll have to
Yeah,
get,
he's another cool dude too. Yeah,
ma- maybe we get
and
you and Larry from Plum Travelers chatting there. Anyway, yeah, kicking the country. Scott is saying good day to Philip and to Lorraine and to Lorraine saying good day to Scott. About 5C at the moment, pissing down rain in British Columbia. That's freaking cold.
5 Celsius. Yeah, that sounds like Tasmania in winter.
Yeah, but you don't get the rain like that, right?
No, not well. You know what? We got enough rain to keep the electricity commission going, like the hydro.
Oh, well, that's good.
So that's another story. But yeah,
Yeah. Jonesy's other channel. This is it. What's this one called?
Australian Radio Indie TV. It's a music channel
Hey,
with a lot of independent.
did you take out that Nightbot put your channel in?
I didn't do a thing on night, but I should have.
Okay, so folks, if you go over to Radio Jonesy's channel
Oh
and you
yes, radio.
type in radio,
RA. Yeah, it will drop you a link.
just so that we can get the word spread around. Jerbs is saying he's getting close to the 500 sub mark and will be doing a GAW when
Yeah.
he solidifies his 500 mark. Well, let's hope that gets going. So in the Radio Jonesy's chat, just type in their radio and up will come your link.
Yeah, I will
Jerbs
do
is
that.
also saying,
Oh,
yeah, good hanging out, guys. Have a blessed week, fellas. You're headed out.
yeah.
Nice to see you,
Well,
Jerbs.
thanks, Jebs, for popping in, mate.
Um, Camp Hill Creek, check out a channel called Homesteading Down Under. Johnny's somewhere near your radio, Jonesy.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. I've actually spoke to him, so yeah, he has got a great Tasmanian gardening channel. It's a mini farm. He does some really nice stuff. I spoke to him about the paddy melon situation, like the
Hmm.
kangaroo wallabies,
Hmm.
and he basically told me you just need bigger fences to keep them out.
Mate, how
He
high can
said,
these
yeah,
fences go?
yeah, well, not high enough apparently, but I've done well over the last few weeks. We've kept out the big males and the big females, and only a few little skinnier little ones were getting in, and they really don't come down this far. They stay up the backyard,
Hmm.
so that's why we don't plant as much stuff in the ground because they'll just come and eat it all, clean it up. That's
Yeah,
a,
we don't want
you know,
that.
no,
Um,
no, no.
Jerbs is saying night for the sky. Cheers, Jerb. Have a good sleep, mate. Thank you for popping in. He just pops in the radio, and there we go. Here is his link.
That's the way to
Check
do
him
it.
out, guys.
Yeah,
G'day,
really cool
Outdoors
dude,
with Big Matt.
and another great guy.
We've got Peterson Farms also putting in their channel. And Lorraine is saying, been up for a few days giving Rebecca's cat supportive care. He's doing great now. Oh, that's awesome. But have you been getting any sleep? Because you need it. Um, Quint Nelson is saying, g'day to Peterson Farms. We've got Clock Family Adventures. Welcome aboard, guys. Nice to have you here. The Organised Pineapple.
She's lovely.
Yeah?
If you ever, her channel is all about being organised. So she'll keep you on the straight and narrow, keep your wherever it is, whether it's your around the house, around the bedroom, around the laundry, like everything has got a place. And yeah, the organised pineapple. We all
Well,
call it pineapple, but
I got to figure out how to do that. You should see my
it's
desk.
like,
No, don't. I won't let you see my desk right now.
well,
Scott
you,
is saying that it is 26 Fahrenheit minus 3.3 recurring Celsius in the mountains of North Carolina. Um, we've got. He's also saying g'day to Mike, so I think Mike's popped in somewhere. Um, Cam Creek is also saying he has snake-proof fences too. You don't have snakes, do you?
um, we we haven't had them in the yard that we've seen, but we're told by the neighbours that they are here. So yeah,
What do you get? Brownies there, tigers?
yeah, basically brown snakes. Um, you know, we're on a very vegetative hill. Like
Mm.
our land here is on a steep block, so a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people don't keep their yards clean. Like they let it overgrow, and
Yep.
that's asking for issues. But yeah, no, it's all around our house. Well, I don't know if you've seen on that video today that we're trying to get it all tidied up on that live I was on with.
I was watching a
It was
couple of a bit of it when you were with Raquel, just before you left.
yeah, yeah, I got, I got told dig this hole. So she didn't yeah, a whole new plant, a whole bunch of plants. I said, "Are you finished?" The lovely Mrs. J doesn't like being on camera, and she said, "Have you finished talking?" And I was up the back, and I said, "Yeah, I'll be with you in a minute." And then she started the gardening, and we bought all these new plants she wanted to plant. And then I see her grab the mattock, and then I see her grab the shovel, and I said, "Look, I've got to go, guys." And as I kept walking closer, everyone kept asking me questions, and I kept talking and showing stuff. And then basically, I had to push that button to go. Otherwise, I would have got maybe a shovel somewhere
You would have got
around
shot.
the backside. Yeah, something like that. But
Crossover Paranormal Societies here. G'day, mate. Um,
yeah,
all right, Philip, what are you doing now? A man is driving and hits a woman. Whose fault is it? The man's. Why he is driving in the kitchen? That's a good question. I usually drive the pots and pans when Ilana tells me to. Um, Lorraine is saying that she's renovating the cabin, fixing leaks and new paint. Okay. Organized Pineapple says, thanks, Jonesy. Taking a channel break for now. Why?
yeah. Well,
Well,
everyone needs to refresh.
yeah, I can understand that. Um, yeah, I can understand that for sure. It does it does get to the point when you get
All
people.
all consuming. Yeah,
Yeah, it does. It
yeah.
does become all consuming.
I've learned like I do. This screen here is a radio music stream that runs and puts music out all around the world, and that one's I've been doing that for 9 years non-stop and working at other radio stations, and that's all consuming, let alone the new hobby, which is YouTube. And
Yeah.
so I've got that to deal with, and this to deal with, which I'm loving the challenges. But I'm a sort of I need something to do. I'm one of those guys who I can't really sit down. This is relaxing for me right now, sitting down and having a chat.
So tell me, does Mrs. J make appointments to see you?
Yes, that's correct. She says, at this time we are doing this. lock it in, Eddie. And yep, no worries.
Stream Elements is saying, welcome to the Aussie joint venture with Radio Jonesy and the Downunder Cruisers. If you like what you see, please sub, like, and comment. So that would be awesome, folks.
And jump on both channels too. If you're on one channel, jump on the other one and share the love, because you'll like what you'll see at Sean's, like the ones that are in my crowd. Or Sean, you should come over into my chat and type radio.
I will
So your
do
link will
that.
drop.
I will do that. In fact, I've just got to bring it up right now as we.
Yeah, it's all good.
Because I'm attempting to multitask, and that kind of female I'm not.
No, well, I've actually got 4 screens. You can see 3 of them, but the laptop's in front of me, so there's 4 screens actually running. But no, I love my studio. It's and I love all this sort of stuff up here. Where people send you their little stickers, and I've got cards that come in this year, and all that sort of nice words from people, and all other knickknacks. And I'm just enjoying it, so I'll just keep going with it and see where it leads.
Now, for your info, the reason for the picture of Station Pier, yesterday I met up with a mate of mine who, I don't know if you know him, Arthur from Arthur's Cruisers. I think you do know him. At any rate, Arthur's on the ship that we're going to be doing in March. He's on the Grand Princess, and they did the cruise coming in from Adelaide. They went round and did the Adelaide bit, and then they pulled into Melbourne yesterday. And so I spent some time yesterday with Arthur, just showing him around Melbourne, and then he went off, and the body is telling me that it has not walked as much as we have done, because basically what we did was we called the light train from Station Pier into the city and just walked around the city, and he was taking video and all that sort of stuff. And my body is kind of telling me, Sean, you need to exercise a bit more. So I'm learning that I've got muscles I haven't even used yet. Okay, so Jonesy, are you there? Am I there? Yes, you're not there. You've popped out. Jonesy, you're gonna have to come back in, mate. For some reason, you've gone on a hold. Anyway, I'm gonna go back into my chat over here. Thank you very much, Big Matt, for joining the group, becoming a mate of the team. So here we go. Well, Jonesy, you've really popped out, mate. We've lost ya. Come back in, come back in, come back in. Okay, so Scout Inquirer says, g'day to Organised Pineapple from New York. It's very nice to meet you. Definitely need you in my life. And just a sub to the channel. That's awesome. And that's Jonesy's other channel. I've typed in there. Campbell Creek, Jonesy and the Downunder Cruisers. Great name for a band. You know what? I wouldn't say that would be an incorrect statement. It is a great name for a band. Jonesy, what happened to you there, mate? Hang on a second, nobody can hear you. You're not part of the furniture just yet. I've got to bring you in. Or maybe they can, I don't know. Let's see if I can put you back in your square. Back in your box. There you go. All right, let's bring you across. There you go, mate. What happened?
Froze. I don't know. That's the third. It's happened to a couple of times today, so yeah. Not sure what's going on.
Hey, Organised Pineapple, I can understand what you're going through. I've been through it a couple of times, and I can tell you it's not nice. As well as that, my sister's going through it as well, so it's not nice. However, there are a bunch of people here that are willing to hear and listen. So if you at any stage need an ear, please feel free to jump on our channel and catch up with us at another point. But we're feeling for you, and hopefully everything pans out well, um, friendly,
Yes, pineapple.
friendly. You know what, Scotty? You are 100% correct. Kenneth is the multitasker galore. He's the only person I know that can be on 5 devices simultaneously and go, what now? Oh, yes, and then catch up. So, yep, I find that amazing. Scott, thanks so much. Do have several decluttering videos. Awesome. Hang in there from Patterson Farms. So, did you hear about? Did you hear me talk about Arthur there, Jonesy?
No, just when you said, do you know, it went frozen.
Okay. So Arthur from Arthur's Cruisers. I think you've met him in a couple of chats.
Yeah.
At any rate, he's on the Grand Princess, which is the ship that we are going to be cruising on in March. And
Right. Yeah.
with him, it's going from the cruise was going from Adelaide round to Melbourne, then off to New Zealand, back to Melbourne, back to Adelaide. So he spent the day with me in Melbourne yesterday, and my body has just told me that it does not like walking that much.
No, yes, welcome to my world.
Yeah,
I went to physio this week, believe it or not, first time ever.
really?
Why? Yeah, I had a bit of a I got the yeah I got a problem, and the doctor said yeah, go get a scan here, plus go to these I'll book in for some physio.
Yeah.
And I thought, yeah, I'll go do the scan, the physio, you know. And they rang me up and said, oh, you're booked in here, it won't cost you nothing, come down and we'll assist you in, all this stuff. And man, it's like having a private trainer for an hour. It was awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Looking forward to going back in 3 weeks. I got four sessions of you'll see a new me in 4 sessions. I'll tell you.
I would
I can
say
feel
that
better.
you're a glutton
Yeah.
for punishment.
I feel better already. I used to play football, so I know how to do it, and I know why I should do it. I just don't do it, And now I'm sort of motivated a bit to, I was down the beach today, walking around, doing my thing. I don't take a camera and film everywhere I go like some
Mhm.
people, but it was relaxing. It was nice, and the ship's coming in. The container ships coming in, and
Yep.
the waves crashing, and just getting your feet wet, walking about, saying good morning to everyone. Everyone's walking around on the pier there, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, sir.
But
It
that's
just
the good
doesn't
thing
stop.
about Tassie. Everybody's friends.
Oh, everyone, like the neighbour next door told me the whole history of the house here for about the last 40 years. They popped over today and said, hi, how you going? We might have been here for a year or so, but we thought we better finally come over and say hi. That was lovely.
That's cool.
Yeah,
And you really want to you really like meeting up with people like that because they actually think about you, they care, and all right, so they're a bit nosy occasionally, but you know what? At least it makes a difference in people's lives. You build that
yeah.
relationship. They're watching out for you. They're watching out for your home. They're watching out for your mates.
I was waiting for the word when they would have said, "You don't have a set of drums, do you?" That usually gets said, but no, it wasn't said, and I didn't mention it. So it's awesome. They haven't heard them yet, or if they have heard them, they don't know it's me.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay, so Philip is saying that he did a 1 hour
yeah.
walking fitness YouTube, had to stop after 40 minutes, start doing burpee girl. What fitness you do a YouTube? Okay, well done.
Yes.
Did 8,000 steps you did. Okay, 8,000. I think I did about 450 million yesterday. Well, the body's telling me I
Yes,
did about 450 million.
but you get that when you're on like the touristy route. When you've got someone there from wherever and you're showing them around town, and it's come
Yep.
on, we'll walk down here and jump on the tram, and we'll go over to here, and then we'll walk up here. Let's go check this out over here, and so then they'll say, hey, let's go over here, and you'll go, okay, let's go, and then yeah,
Actually,
we, we, we
it was quite amazing when we got into Flinders Street Station. They were handing out free bottles of water, cold.
nice,
So we grabbed
that's
one or
nice,
two. It was nice.
yeah. No, well, that's like whoever was running that charity or that idea or whatever business was doing it. You know what I mean? Like there's some really good people in the world.
Yeah. You two, Peterson Farms, thank you very much. Have a great day, a safe day, and we'll catch up with you later. The governor,
See you, Phil.
audiobooks are the key to walking. Put on a good one and start plodding along. The miles fly by. You know what, Gov? The problem is, I don't mind listening to audiobooks or going on a stream of some sort. But what really gets me is when you've got somebody that you've got to show around town, and they're walking and talking to you. So how can you put on audio? I mean, if you came down here to Melbourne, I would definitely put on the earpods so that you. Yeah. Okay. Shut up, Sean. You frozen again, Jonesy.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
Yeah. Well, yeah. There's plenty of music out there. Um, Scout Inquirer is saying he can relate with all the walking. He has two. They have two dogs: a German Shepherd, a Border Collie Beagle mix that need to be exercised a few times a day. That is awesome. And we've just lost Jonesy again. He's just dropped out of the stream, so hopefully he'll come back in a short minute, and then we'll get him in. Drunken Chef Barbecue, welcome aboard. Nice to have you here. Jonesy is part of the stream. He's just going to pop it back in a minute. He just popped out. But it's good to see you here. Welcome aboard. Those of you that are on the Jonesy side, if you can just in the Jonesy YouTube channel, just type in their radio, and that'll bring up your links, so people can come and check you guys out. So, as I was saying beforehand, we're in Melbourne, and we had a guy come on into Melbourne and spend some time with us, and had a good old walk around. Mate,
And
what's
I'm
going on?
back. Hey, I'm back.
You're doing the midnight flip trick there, mate.
Yes, I don't know what's going on. I've been having connection issues today, of all days. I've been on 3 lives today, and they've all done that.
Cam Creek is also saying his internet is crap today. Must be the hot weather, the internet can't handle the Australian summer.
Yeah.
G'day, Odd Collective. Good evening, mate. How you going?
Well, there we go. That's my good mate Andy from the band at the Odd Collective ALT, who has actually just released a brand new album, Eleanor's Curse. Yeah.
We were talking about that last week.
Yeah, well, he just released the album, yeah.
Yep.
He's a cool dude.
The governor's asking an important question here. He's saying, does Jonesy need 50C for the Wi-Fi?
What's 50C? 50 cents?
50 cents?
Probably. Flick it to me anyway, I'll tell you if it comes in handy. There's one of my videos. There's one of my videos, Sean.
Yeah.
It's actually docking at port. Melbourne on the ferry. So we're actually coming in.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's I got whole ships and all sorts of stuff on my channel, but you got to go searching for them. I'm a mishmash of all sorts of stuff.
Go and check out Jonesy's Mishmash.
It's,
Hey, you heard the latest? We've had a couple of ships now hold out because they've got bio crap on the bottom of them. Then we've got ships going into New Zealand have been changed around because they've had bad weather. And then recently we heard there's out of Indonesia, they had that dirty big fat earthquake, which apparently the rumbles could be felt or the shaking could be
yeah,
felt in Darwin, apparently.
yeah. The wife was telling me about that one today. But yeah, hey Andy from the Old Collective ALT, just type radio. That'll drop your link, and then people will be able to find out about your digital downloads where you could get your 10 songs. So I'll tell you what, they're all crackers as well. I'm quite very impressed with that album.
Did you mix it?
No, no, not me. It was mixed by two studios. One up at Rocking Horse in Byron Bay with Murray Burns, who's been around for a long time. He's MySex. Remember MySex?
Yes.
He's a keyboard player with MySex, and he runs a really top notch studio.
Yep.
And the other one is Phil Rigger in Sydney, and he's been with a ton of bands. Really nice guy, and he really brought brought out the best of Andy for sure. But there you go. There's Andy's link. He might chat
Um,
anyway.
the governor is saying, what's next? Ships can't enter because their hull's too wet. Yeah, that's about right. But the places that are picking it is only Australia and New Zealand, which I'm finding
Wonder
quite interesting.
why. How does a ship? They have to dry dock, do they, to get that clean?
No, they put a diver underneath and they go and physically clean it.
You're joking me.
No,
I did that. I did that on a 32-foot yacht. Talk about hard work.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's why it costs them a screaming fortune to actually get people underneath to do this sort of stuff. Um,
yeah.
uh, it's, anyway, um, Andy's saying that the tsunami warning in Darwin earlier, but actually, Andy, that tsunami warning was actually reduced. They removed it, so they went. I don't think they believe that it's going to happen. There we go. There is the Odd Collective radio, the Odd Collective link, folks. Have a go, have a
Yeah.
listen, check out the music.
And the reason it's called the collective is because there's like one or two, maybe three people are the same, but then it's the best of the best who's available at the
Mm.
time comes into the gigs. So it's a really interesting band. Oh, there you go. We talked about that one last week.
Yep. The Cicada 85 doc.
Yeah, that remember. I don't know if you ever remember that song. It's well, you'd have to Google it because it's really freaky. It's a great song about cicadas.
And Pusha Bulka.
The Pasha Bulka, yeah, remember that? That's the ship that ran ashore at Newcastle.
Yes, that's
We
right.
talked we talked about that last week,
We
Andy.
did. Yep. Meg, you have a good night's sleep. We'll look forward to catching up with you later on. Okay. Yes, Scott's giving the instructions here. Get some rest. Um, the Odd Collective always predicts a tsunami.
They always yeah, well, yeah. Yeah, my wife actually. This is a strange story, but my wife's had numerous dreams, like a few of them, of waves washing her away, like always these big waves washing her away. And she's always worried because we had an apartment on the beach on the coast, and we live on a lake as well. And now
Hmm.
we're down here. We're down here, but we're on a hill. And I said, if that wave comes down here, all those people down in town, look out. We'll just
Yep.
be sitting up here on the water. Yeah.
We've got Jake Hudson in. Welcome aboard, Jake. He's
Hey,
asking
Jake.
everybody how they're doing. Welcome aboard, Jake.
Good to see you.
And he's doing okay. So welcome aboard, buddy. Um, and Clock is saying g'day. So what's happened to you this week other than gardening?
What's happening? You know what? I've just put time in around the house, like with the Christmas break.
Hmm.
You know, just the standard stuff, getting things done, getting the radio stream set up and changed because of the new year. Everything sort of freshened up, and just a lot of little bits and pieces behind the scenes. Sitting in this chair for way too many hours in this little room here with my little play screens. But
It's a good
yeah,
opportunity to hide, though.
oh man, this is awesome. Like, I should have been in the camera because remember last week? Uh,
Yeah, last week
if
you
you can see
died.
them.
But you know what? You've been dying all the time, so it doesn't matter if you, because you'll come back in.
Yeah,
That's
see them
awesome,
two
man.
flags there?
Yep.
Yeah, that was sent to me by a friend. The video will come out, if not tomorrow, the next day.
So you've got Skinner Farms in here, Jonesy.
Hey, Josh. Yeah, he's another cool dude.
Where's he?
Uh, Good question. Where are you, Josh? You Middle America somewhere. Oklahoma,
And
I'm guessing.
and Jake is saying that he made you a video. Oh, he made us. Oh, thank you very much. Look forward to seeing it.
Good. Yeah, thanks, Jake. Appreciate it, mate. I've been busy today, this afternoon anyway. Indiana. Sorry, Jeff. Sorry, Josh.
There we go. Indiana. Okay, so now let me see which one am I on? I'm on yours. Cool. Let me do this. Folks, I'm doing something here that anybody can do. And when you do that, you get some exciting stuff. So let me show you what it's doing for those that can't see, because you don't have access to the chat. First thing you do is you type in the word radio. If you're on Jonesy's channel there, Radio Jonesy, you type in the word radio, and then magically Nightbot gives you your link. But in actual fact, the link should say Downunder Cruisers. It's giving the proper URL, but I've actually changed that a while ago, and it's coming up with the original. So it doesn't matter. Go into that link, you'll get the channel. Jake's from Mississippi.
Good on you, Jake. There we
Um,
go.
there
If
we
people
go.
on the
And Scout Inquirer, hi, and good morning from New York, Skinner Farms. So, whose idea was it to do the garden today? Yours or the boss's?
it's always the boss. Like I tinker in the garden. Like our front yard hasn't been touched for maybe 10 years, I reckon. So there was a lot of work out the front. So we've done all that and cleaned it up, and uh, that motivated now the side of the house. We got the new dog, so the side of the house now we have a couple of fences and a couple of gates.
So it's motivated you to
And
keep everything together.
yeah, and then there's the kangaroos don't come in. The kangaroos would walk up and eat anything that we planted. They'd eat
Yep.
anything. Like they inquiring little terrorists for garden. They come in and they clean up. Um, but apart from that, now they don't come in. We're putting in some colour. So, I'm starting to sound like an old man, but it looks nice, And we're doing one section at a time because our place is a hill. So we're
Yep.
doing this sort of low section, and then we do the next level, and then we do a few more retaining walls, and we just work our way up the hill.
So
Then we
Skinner
build a
Farms said they usually
big
wake up
structure.
around 5:30 a.m., but he woke up early and just saw us live. Um, Jake is typing in
Radio,
radio,
Radio
and
Jake.
there's his link. Skinner
Yeah,
Farms is saying g'day to Scout, and Skinner Farms is doing exactly the same thing.
yeah, no. I'll have to set you up with that. Would you want a hand setting that up
Yes, please.
with the night bot?
I don't
We
have.
can do
I'm
that.
using. I've got to figure out how to do it with Stream Elements. If I can get it done there, it'll be awesome.
No, no, you just put it. It goes into YouTube, and it doesn't matter what one you use, it'll
Yep.
connect. Yeah,
I'll have to figure out how to do that one, but we'll do that off air, right?
yeah, mate. I'll give you a hand.
That'd be nice.
Cool.
Okay. So, what's been coming into Hobart ports these days? Or
Well,
burning?
Bernie. Yeah, I'm not too sure about Hobart, but mate, just container ships. Probably had about 3 today. They'll be in for. One comes in and goes. One comes in at six a.m. and leaves around 5:30, 6 p.m. every day, and another one. Other ships just come and go all sorts of times of the day and night. It just it's a peaceful thing watching. Just watching the boats, especially the large ones, just come in. They do the pirouette. To reverse them in. The
Yep.
tugboats are out there. Yeah, it's just yeah. I can see why cruising is such a great, great thing to
Pastime.
do. You just relax on the water. Just
Yeah. Mate, there's nothing better than waking up in the morning and then just saying, like, I think I'll sit on the balcony and just watch the world go by, and then you go and you say, "Hey, room service, can I have my breakfast here, please?" And they bring it in, and you just eat your breakfast, drink your coffee, drink your poison, poison, whatever it is you want to drink, while watching the
yeah,
world go by, and just have an absolute ball.
yeah. That sounds like you can be as relaxing as you want, or you can be as active as you want. That's
That's
probably the best thing
correct.
about it. Yeah,
And the good news is, um, with all the entertainment that's there, you can go and watch these different musicians playing, and
yeah,
if and the funny thing is, you go and you watch some of these karaoke shows, and that
right.
becomes an absolute life because the person thinks they've got the most gorgeous voice,
Yeah.
and you think,
I used
mate,
to host. I used to host karaoke for a while. So when you're the host, you've got to start it off, and you've got to get people interested, motivated. Come on, join in. I'm just going to do this song, and then you just start singing, and nobody's sort of putting their names down, and then you talk a bit more. Then you go, "Who's coming up? Who can do an Elvis? Who can do this? Who can do that? Come on, people. Who's up? Who's willing? Get another drink into you, then come on." And yeah, you can get. But then again, you find the diamonds in the rough.
yeah, that's right. There were some really good ones on the ship as well. Hey, so what's your favorite music?
I guarantee. What's my favourite music? I'll say independent Australian rock music. How's that?
So,
I like everything. You're talking to the wrong guy. If you want me to name a band, I can't. I've got too many of them.
so for me, my favorite music is everything. The only thing I can't handle is that heavy rock where they scream at you.
Yeah, well, how heavy is that? That's like the actual those
Yeah.
ones. Okay, well, look, I could play AC/DC all night, and I could sing AC/DC all night, and I could play the Angels and sing the Angels, and I could do that sort of stuff. But yeah, No, there's some fabulous bands out there, Jake. You just got to get out and find them, mate. When you know, like bands like In Excess, for instance.
Yep.
The big hits, fair enough. I like going deep into their albums and finding tracks that weren't released, you know, as a single, and then yeah, finding them little gems.
We got MLW Fishing Man. Welcome aboard. Nice to have you here. We've got the Scout
Yep, g'day.
Inquirer. Scout Inquirer likes all types of music. My dear friend from Tasmania introduced me about the group 1927. Well, that was an
Uh,
interesting.
nice group.
Yeah, that was an interesting
Yeah,
group.
they're still going.
Yeah, you don't hear
Still going.
much of their
There's,
stuff being put out, unfortunately.
you know, there's a band in Albury, Wodonga called Midnight Alibi. They're
Hmm.
probably my favourite local rock band that's sort of out and about right now. Yeah, they come down to Melbourne quite regularly and play. Um, but yeah, they're in Albury, Wodonga, so they head up to Sydney too.
Yep.
Um, yeah, pretty cool band. And if you like your rock music,
Um, so just to give you a heads up, there are no ships in port today in Sydney or Melbourne. But yesterday in Melbourne, we had the Grand Princess coming in from 7 a.m. and left at 5 p.m. And then the Seabourn Odyssey came in at 10 and left at 4. So that was a pretty quick run, which was rather an interesting one. Um, okay. And Jonesy's gone and taken a sojourn again, so he's out. He'll be back in a minute. But yes, all exciting stuff. So coming in tomorrow, which will be the 11th, in Melbourne, we'll have the Pacific Explorer and also the Regatta coming into Melbourne. Into Sydney tomorrow. Well, there's not going to be a ship in until Thursday, which will be the Carnival Splendor. And then that's going to the Overseas Passenger Terminal. And that will be in and out the same day. Come on, Jonesy. I know you're almost there. Oh, you popped out again. Okay. Just a couple of people saying good day to each other, which is awesome. Okay. So, what else is happening down under? Pretty much shipping at the moment, or the cruisers at the moment, are having a bit of a rough time around the New Zealand area because of the weather. Because of the... Oh, there you go, Jonesy. Welcome back, buddy.
I've just shut down all the non-working stuff to yeah, I run a base minimum. That might help out.
Well, let's hope that it all does. Maybe you need to give your machines a good cleanup.
I think it's just a Wi-Fi today for whatever reason. It says I'm on maximum strength, so
Who's your provider?
Telstra.
Good old Telstra. We've got Jason Ghost Hunter there. Hi there, dropping to share the support. Thank you, buddy. Welcome aboard. Nice to have you here.
Yeah, that's an interesting. I've got an interesting sort of crowd that also it's not just one type of channels that sort of come in here. There are all sorts. There's fishing. There's people that just like to hang out. Then you got the farms, and yeah, the preppers and the gardeners and yeah, the musos. There's
Scott's having a
an
go at
interesting
you.
crowd.
He
Yeah,
reckons you should
I
pay
think
your
so.
internet bill.
Yeah, no, maybe you're right. I'll have to go check. But if it wasn't paid, I wouldn't even be here. It'd be completely cut.
Josh, I did a video for you from Jake Hudson. Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. 2056. G'day, J and N. Welcome aboard. Wake up and wanted to say hello. Thank you very much. I'm glad you did. How's Florida? You know, John and Nancy from J&N Travels live in New Hampshire, but they've become what they call the snowbirds. So when it snows in New Hampshire, they fly down to Florida, stay warm.
Yeah, it's not a bad strategy.
No, I agree with that.
That's why a lot of Tasmanians head north in winter.
Yeah, that's right. Queensland is nice and warm,
Yeah. Hey,
especially.
right. Oh, sorry, mate.
No, you go
Uh,
ahead.
my, m- yeah, my daughter's tonight, right at this very moment, is that she used to live in the Hunter Valley, and they bought tickets to see Elton John at the Newcastle sports field there, the big
Mm.
stadium. So they
Yep,
bought the real front row expensive tickets, and during the year she got a university change to Brisbane, so they
yep.
moved to Brisbane, and tonight they had to fly down to Newcastle from Brisbane to watch Elton John, who will be in Brisbane next. But
Oh no.
yeah, no, they're in the front. I don't think they're front row. I think they're 3 rows back. But yeah, they paid top dollar for it.
So he's here, is he?
Yeah, yeah, he's touring. He's doing the last tour. You got old Elton. I've seen him 5 or 6
3 years of the
times.
last tour.
Yeah, that's how it
He,
works.
his voice is not what it used to be.
Oh, they're all a bit like that these days. And the actual they call it the what do they brand the old acts doing the rounds? It's the like the senior circuit.
Yep.
So the senior circuit is selling big time. So these acts that still can perform, like Billy Joel come out, he's really not performing much at all back in the States. He comes out for one gig, they practice, they rehearse, they get ready, they sell out the MCG, and he makes a pretty penny, and then has a holiday, and then flies home. Like, why wouldn't the senior circuit continue to perform, because people like us who watch these guys, and plus now our kids, well, that's why my daughter said, "Oh, we've got to go see Elton John before he drops, before he's dead. If we don't
Mm.
go now, we're never going to see him." And so, yeah, she's excited to see him, and like being my kids, they've been brought up with all that sort of music. They know everything from the Beatles to AC/DC sort of thing. So, yeah, I'm sort of quite proud. I'm quite proud. I like getting in the car with my one of my daughters, and I say play some music, and they just pick out their phone and put it through the car speakers, and
Yep.
it could be anything. But I'll tell you what, 90% of it is what I would have been grooving to. So yeah, that
Awesome.
sort of puts a smile on my face. Yeah,
Awesome. Hey, Scott, thanks for popping in, mate. You have a very, very nice day, and we shall catch up shortly. Need to ask you a couple questions, but absolutely glad you popped in. Stream Elements is giving us Jonesy's link, so go ahead and look at that, folks, if you haven't already. And when you're in there, in Jonesy's link, type in the word radio, and your links will come up.
yes, yeah, for sure. Go for it. Hey, what news come to your attention this week, Sean?
For me,
Anything like
the big thing was the ships being turned around out of New Zealand with this security stuff,
yeah,
as well as the weather that's been stopping a few things.
the weather, as in too hot?
No, well, New Zealand has been getting really bad weather, and it's actually stopped ships from going into ports.
Oh, really? Did not see that. So that's something that's sort of like obviously it's on your
It's on my radar.
yeah, on your radar. Yes, when I'm looking at music, you're sort of looking at the shipping, which is a good thing.
Sheena's saying g'day.
Hey, welcome in, Sheena.
She's also shared us out.
Yep, and that's Sean, Sheena. Yeah,
Nice
check
to
out
meet you,
Sean.
Sheena. We've actually been communicating.
Excellent.
So it's Sean and Jonesy. Welcome aboard.
Yeah, for sure. Welcome onto the dance floor of the what ship you want to call it?
Yeah, whichever. For
Whatever
us
that's
right
it.
now, March, it's going to be the Grand Princess. So welcome aboard. Let's have you on board.
Yes,
Um,
the Grand Princess.
now, now, Scout Inquiry is saying that is so true, Jonesy. They've seen Elton, Billy, Joel at MSG,
Yeah,
MCG,
MCG.
and Bon Jovi a
Yeah.
couple years ago at the park. It is so great to see the musicians and bands that we grew up with.
Oh yeah, it's huge. It's huge. Like I've got a mate coming over to Tasmania with a bunch of quality musicians. Um, I think they're coming over next weekend actually,
Yep.
and yeah, so I'm looking forward to hanging out with them guys for 3 or 4 days. Um, and they're all like from Ted Mulray Gang, from Hush, and all the old bands from back in the day.
Yep.
But they make like a super group and they call themselves the Masters of Pop. They come out and play the casino and a few places. But yeah, looking forward to hanging out with some mates from the music scene because down here there's not too many of them around.
No, there wouldn't be. Um, yeah, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind seeing
Oh,
um, Ozzy Crawl again.
yeah, yeah, for sure. You know who lives in Tasmania, not far from me?
Who's
The
that?
Yeah, Rick Brewster from the Angels.
Oh, really?
So yeah, really. Andy from the Odd Collective, he's actually working with them um, at a gig up his way, like Byron Bay somewhere up that way.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, so he said I'm going to go see him and I'll put a good word in for you, Jonesy, and I'll get him to come round. I'll see if I can tee up a meet and greet. I said that would be awesome. Yeah, so
Sheena is saying she wouldn't mind seeing Hush.
well, Hush were fantastic, and yeah, back in the day. But
G'day, Southwest Jeff.
he's a music lover as well, Southwest Jeff. He's an interesting dude. Good to see you, mate.
There's a few interesting dudes, let me say.
Yeah, like I said, I tell you what, music brings everybody together. Like everybody does their thing. Everybody does whatever they do: football, sport, soccer,
Yep.
cricket, gardening, cruising, whatever. Everybody loves music. Music is the glue that holds the soul together. That's
Yep.
what I say.
Absolutely.
Hmm. Because you get married to a song, you get engaged to a song.
That's right.
Your first children are born, and you hear that song, and it sticks in your head forever. You know,
No, that's right.
you play sport or whatever, and you hear a song, and it just brings back memories. It's
But there's a
music.
limit to how many times you can hear Bar Bar Black Sheep.
Yes, well, it's some people like to listen to nursery rhymes, and some people don't.
Mate, every time I had it happen today. Every time I teach first aid, they all go, "So don't you do CPR in time to Bar Bar Black Sheep?" I go, "Really? Seriously?" Most music
Okay.
plays at about 105 beats a minute, so that'll do.
Yeah. I tell you what, doing CPR, you really need a team, don't you? Because when you train, you've got to do like group maybe 3 people, and one
Yep.
does his time and then passes it over to somebody else. and then they
That's right.
continue on, and then it's all about keeping the timing.
Yep.
And it's just like playing the drums, mate. Everyone's got to keep to the beat.
That's right.
But
My
yes, it's
my
really
favorite
important, CPR.
my favorite song for CPR is Queen's "Another One Bites the Dust."
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Yes,
Another.
well,
Yeah.
Al,
Jeff is
Weird
saying that
Al.
he just saw the live and wanted to drop in and show support. Thank you, mate. Really appreciate that.
Yeah,
Um,
thanks, brother.
Scouts, Scout Inquirer says music soothes the soul. You're right.
Yeah.
Sheena says, when my daughter was born, my ex was wearing a Metallica shirt.
And that's why he's your ex. Hang
Music.
on. I missed the punchline. Hang on, that's why he was your ex. There you go. Sorry about that, Shannon.
That I like that. It was cool. We got it.
Yeah, but yeah, no, it's yeah, music does all sorts of crazy stuff. Like, I remember Mrs. J back in the day. Like, let's go back to 1984, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it might have been 83. I said to Mrs. J, who was not Mrs. J back then, I said, hey, I got some tickets to a band. Do you want to come out? And she'd go, yeah, that'd be great. Where are we going? Oh, the Horden Pavilion. Oh, great. Who's playing? Oh, I'm going to make it a big surprise. Because the surprise was it was Devo.
Oh wow!
And if I said Devo was playing, she wouldn't have went. And she's all excited, all dressed up, and off we went. And then she realised who was on. And then she went, oh man, do I got to sit through this? And then at the end of the night, she was loving it. She was dancing with everybody else. And yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah. My first
Then,
concert here in Oz was to go and see. Hang on, who was it? It was Simon and Garfunkel playing up at
right, nice.
in Mount Waverley.
The winery.
Crubby the
The winery.
Beagle, welcome aboard.
Hey, Grubby. That's an interesting channel. I will say Megadeth stayed strong in the 90s, but Metallica kind of went downhill after the Black Album.
Yep.
As I said, I got some really cool dudes in the chat with music. But it's I mean, like I say, music is life. Like like I said, there's this, I've got terabytes and terabytes and terabytes of music. So there's so much in storage here and so much on systems here. You can get lost into thinking, what will we listen to today, tonight, or what should we play on the show, or what should go on. But it's, it doesn't matter what you play. I would, like up here on me vinyls, I've got Bach, I've got all sorts of opera, I've got, all the cool stuff, Queen and AC/DC and the Angels and Midnight Oil and all sorts of weird stuff. Red Gum for the country people.
Red Gum was a good band. They were.
Yeah.
Oh,
for sure.
Southwest Jeff is saying he will say though Megadeth stayed strong in the 90s, but Metallica kind of went downhill after the Black Album. You said that before.
Yeah, I'm sorry, mate. I was just reading it.
You were reading ahead in your chat, right? Sheena's saying I'm with her at one time. I thought Dio was a demon. A couple of people saying g'day. So, and I also went to see, I did see Billy Joel in concert here.
Yeah. Hey, just changing the subject quickly.
Yep.
The other night on the news, there was a seal, like 30 kilometres inland on the road.
Yep.
he and they said, how did he get here? And then they found there was a creek next to the road.
Yep.
So he swam up from the ocean 30 kilometres up a creek, and it was not like a big flowing river. It was like over branches and across rocks, and the water's trickling here but deep there. And he's walked his way 30 kilometres inland, and he's gone on
Wow.
a sightseeing tour. Yeah, it was on Channel 7's local news down here. Like we had a seal called Neil the seal. He come ashore down on the beach down near Hobart, and he wouldn't go. He wouldn't leave until late in the mating season. So he turned up early, and he just hung around on the beach. So they can be wild and they can bite you.
Yep.
So he was like a local identity, and they named him Neil. And they put traffic cones around him when he went into the car park, and he would dance with the traffic cones. He would roll over them, and he'd do all the moves. And we would just say he was dancing with the traffic. We would just say he was dancing. That's the nicest way of saying it. But he loved them orange cones. He was
First,
playing.
first to say g'day to Carsten Blast quickly, and Southwest Jeff, have a great day. We'll have a good evening. Thank you, mate.
Thanks, Jeff.
Sheena says the number there is 100. Don't know what that means. You'll know.
I don't know, but thanks, Shanna. I reckon.
The governor is saying Metallica wrote themselves off after they released St. Anger, pretty much their version of the IRS tapes.
Well, that's interesting.
Scout Inquirer says he lives in 1 and 15 minutes of Woodstock in Bethel. It is such a beautiful place, and the history is very interesting. So 1 hour and 15 minutes.
Woodstock, the biggest traffic jam in the known to man.
But they put out some of the greatest music.
That was a. There's a lot of documentaries about that. When you watch it, you watch the music and you go, well, okay. But the end of it, when it all finished, trying to get them people out of there, it was horrendous. But there's some good docos on about that.
Is that was one guy's farm, wasn't it?
I guess so. Yeah, it was just it ended up being just muddy schmozzle, and well, like history. It was a long time ago for me, but looking on the history, like when I used to watch this stuff on the History Channel and all sorts of, things like that. Like MTV will show you all the nice stuff, all the good stuff,
Yeah.
the music and the peace and love and all that sort of stuff. But when you get into the history of it, you'll find out all the, how many people died and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, it was an interesting time.
Nick P, he leaves for Europe in 1 week from Saturday. You lucky mongrel. Sheena is saying 100% the Foo Fighters will carry on in 100% thrilled. Also saying awesome to Nick. The governor is saying Max Yeska won the farm. Oh, good on him. Owned the farm, that's right.
Yeah.
Max owned the farm. Which is cool.
I
But
bet you didn't get enough money for it.
no, he didn't. But I'll tell you what, I think you're right. Because there were a number of deaths that came from the drugs and other things.
Yeah, and the ambulances couldn't get in there, and there was all sorts of stuff going on. But but like I said, the music. Like, how many big music festivals have you been to, Sean?
Well, I went in 1979, 1980. I went to New Zealand to White Waters.
Yeah.
And got to spend time with Split Ends as they were. No, they weren't. They were Split Ends at the time. Crowded House. They were Crowded House, and the drummer was in the plane on the way back with me.
That's the poor gentleman that ended his life early.
Yep. It was
Yeah,
actually quite. It was actually quite funny. He's sitting next to me and I'm going,
he was.
"What are you going? You're going back from New Zealand? Oh, yeah, great. Where were you? Whitewater. Interesting. So were we, because I was traveling with a mate. Where were we?
Yeah.
Um, uh, so what did you do? Were you watching the bands or were you one of them? No, I was one. I'm one of the drummers. Oh yeah, which band? Crowded House.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Like, yeah, my sects are massive over there in New Zealand, and like, we did a film clip of all this stuff for them. Well, we were filming them at all these gigs and putting out these little, like, look at my section, you missed out on a great gig. All these videos are on my channel.
Mm.
And the band, I'm friends with the band, and they were saying, oh, thanks for the footage. You captured some really good stuff. And then when they released their latest album, which was about 3 years ago, it's called Not From Here. And yeah, like, it's a great album. They said, we want to release a song, but we've got no stuff. Can you give us some footage to use? And I said, mate, what do you want? And they said, I don't know, what do you got? So I gave them like a whole terabytes and terabytes and terabytes of hours and hours and hours of footage. And they cut it all together. And it was just like random cuts. Like, it wasn't spliced to be lip synced or anything. It was just random pieces of them performing. But it's all my footage. And it was really interesting to watch it when it went out live,
Mm.
and then you just say, you know what, I filmed this and I filmed that and I filmed that and I was here at this is this venue, this is that venue, and there's a
Yeah.
festival that was at as well in New Zealand, and the whole place was just bouncing, everyone was just up and down, up and down. It was
Scout
awesome.
Inquirer says, Jonesy, that's so very true. It still has a lot of traffic. Their family home is on the main road and traffic goes on for miles and miles.
Yeah, well, you've got history in your backyard, my friend. Scout Inquirer. There's some, like, we could go on forever talking about, like, the country music festivals, like, what's the one down in rural Victoria?
T- uh, t- uh, t- um,
The one that's a bit, there's a lot of youths, and that's a bit, how should I say this nicely? I won't say feral, but people do say that. But I will say it's a bit more redneckish, maybe.
yep, yep.
But you go up to Queensland, and there's some really good ones up there, and it's everyone's friendly. Camp out. It's like oh man, well, Tamworth just
Tamworth.
what day?
That's what I was
Is
thinking
that
of.
just about finished? Well, Tamworth's massive. I used to live up there, up that way, and everyone hates the festival because it just brings all these, they call them terrorists, come into town, and the place gets overrun. You could rent your house out there for like, you can move out of your house and rent it out for 2 weeks for about 10 grand.
Yeah, but you could do
Yeah.
pretty much the same thing when the Grand Prix comes to Melbourne. All those houses around the Grand Prix racetrack. Everybody
Yeah, but
moves
these are
out
just,
and rents them out too.
yeah, but these are just like normal, everyday people in this suburb of Tamworth
Yeah,
can just say, hey, there's all these sites you can go on, and you just clean you take your personals out, you lock a garage up with your stuff, and you just say, yeah, here's the keys, blah blah blah, sign here, man,
pay your
they
mortgage.
make yeah, it pays their rates, pays their yeah, everyone sort of smartly manages well, but mate, Tamworth, middle of summer, 40 odd degrees Celsius, dry. It's just not the right time of year for that festival.
No,
Yeah,
no, but that's the thing. Half the time people do these festivals and they just in the wrong time of the year. People get dehydrated, amongst other things.
oh yeah, and it's the older generation go to that more than the younger generation. It being
Correct.
like the golden guitars awards that go on. That's all at night, so that's not that bad. But yeah, fair dinkum, like during the day, and they're drinking alcohol, dehydrated to the max, and man, it's it's an interesting festival. And well, no, I better not talk too much about that. There's venues honestly that are they've got control by the local agents that book
Yeah.
the rooms.
Yeah.
So they say to bands, for you to play there, you pay me X amount of money, and then you sell your tickets. That's what they
That's
say.
ridiculous.
It's not. It is. That's how it works up there. It's absolutely like if you want to play West Leagues Club, for instance,
Yep.
they'll play like at 10 o'clock in the morning. There'll be a gig. At 2 in the afternoon there'll be a gig. 5 in the afternoon there'll be another gig, and then 8 o'clock that night there'll be a gig, and then 11 o'clock there'll be another gig, and all those people have paid an agent a, a top fee to play that gig, and then they sell their tickets and their CDs and their merch to get their money back and more, supposedly. But it's really, it's not like that festival is not like there's one big venue with a main stage and a couple of things. This is like a whole town with all these different bars and clubs, and yeah, it's like the Wild West.
That's crazy stuff.
Yeah, when you get into the music scene and you follow the trail of the money, it's that's what you find some really interesting stories. That's the part of the industry that really gets my goat.
On that note, folks, I want to call it quits. Next week, we want to have something else to talk about. So if we talk about everything in music this session, we won't have anything to talk about next week. So
Uh,
I want to thank you, Jonesy, for coming up, as usual.
uh, Thank you for sorting it out.
Not a problem. And we shall catch up with everyone next week. Same time, same channels. Catch you later.
Thanks,
Bye
guys.
now.